How's everyone doing today? I'm be talking about the Predators and the Predator Killer of Killers, one of the latest, well, not one of the latest, well, one of the newer kind of Predator movies. It's like animated. I think it has a really cool animation style. It kind of has like that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse animation. I think it's pretty sick. Now, I already recorded this video, and editing it, I realized that last time I tried to make this video, sorry if I menace on this, my video got cock blocked because it had copyrighted material, even though I was fucking talking over it, and it was silenced. No audio was used in the footage, by the way. It's just footage, but I'd literally be talking over it every time. They're acting as if I just like downloaded the movie off a website, uploaded it as my own, be like, here, why go to Omniplex or the Arc when you could just watch it for free on my YouTube channel? It's fucking retarded and annoying as shit. And also, in the last recording, I feel like I was just describing way too much what goes on in the movie, and I'm trying to do this thing in my series in 35 minutes where I try to describe what goes on in the movie a lot less, and I sort of just try and talk about like the characters themselves and like kind of, why they're bad or the stuff they do they're bad. I just kind of want to do it my own way. But anyways, in this video we're going to be talking about the Grendel King and his three brothers that he just sends. I don't even know if they're his brothers. There's the three boyos that he just sends to catch the strongest prey that they can on Earth. Literally at the start of the movie opens up with some shit like, become the killers, go catch the strongest prey you can. So pretty much there's three eras in this movie. The first one is 841 AD. That's like kind of the Viking era, medieval times. The next one is feudal Japan, when ninjas and samurais and shit were around slicing each other's balls off. And then the next one, probably my least favorite one, but I still thought it was pretty cool and unique, and it was something different from the last two. It's I think this is like taking place during World War II. And it's like this about this Mexican pilot that he, he's gonna go fly off with the fleet, and they're fighting a predator in the air while the predator's in his ship. Obviously, the predator's not gonna drink Red Bull and grow wings and fly him and fight him like that. But anyways, let's just get this started. The Grendel King, the first predator he sends off. This motherfucker looks like he's used up all of Earth's supplies of steroids, or he's just eating a boulder. Man could have started in like a Mission Indiana Jones movie. The scene where the boulder's chasing bro, he's about to flatten him over like a pancake. He could have been like that. This predator is built like a big, massive black man, pretty much. And then the first thing, this predator, I feel like seemed to give a shit about the honor code the least out of all the other predators, because the other predators, they would actually fight the the people that they were fighting were actually able to defend themselves. They're well capable of cutting their knee open or whatever. But this predator, it seems like he'll just go for anyone, really. So like the first person he attacks ended up being like the Valkyrie leader's child. It's just like so basically the Valkyrie ends up going to this village because this guy they killed her dad ages ago, and the dad wants her to avenge him. So she ends up going there. The son ends up killing the dad, ends up killing the king of the enemy clan because he's just yapping way too much. So then the predator, he's just chilling there, cloaked, invisible, analyzing the boys. And the first thing he does, he has like this Super Sonic the Hedgehog, bouncy spring for a hand, and he cranks that shit up like some people crank their hog, and he blasts the kid just like with shockwaves and just sends the kid flying. He could have attacked anyone. Everyone else had weapons. Actually, I guess it would make sense why he attacked the kid, because the kid had a weapon, but it was still a kid. But he did also see the kid kill someone at the same time, so. But it also still is a child. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. But anyways, he attacks the kid first, and then he just goes on a rampage. He slaughters everyone. It ends up being only him and the Valkyrie after he just like blasts her out through the building, out onto the ice. The building ends up crumbling apart like it was just built 2 seconds ago by construction workers that have never had any other experience. The Valkyrie ends up falling off of a cliff into the water, and I already mentioned this as well before my last recording, but they're like fighting in basically the Arctic. They're fighting in like the polar bear's home turf nowadays, and she falls into the freezing water. She doesn't freeze or anything. She doesn't get frostbite. She doesn't turn into an ice cube. She doesn't turn into a Squidward like in that one SpongeBob episode. It's kind of just crazy and weird. It makes no sense. It's like, why was she not like were her tits not like freezing off? Like, bro, why was she fine when she hopped out of the water? Like she just got over like a cold bath or whatever. It makes no sense. But it is also a Predator movie, so reality isn't really the biggest deal. So then the Predator starts going haywire, just starts blasting every ship, and he's also pretty dumb and retarded. He doesn't have any strategy. Like I'd say the other two Predators in this movie are way smarter than him. He's just big and brutish and knows how to box shit up. So she ends up cracking the ice open the anchor, and when they get underwater, she does this thing where she wraps his arm in chains, and she tries to activate her her big fucking bazooka arm, and he blasts her, but he ends up sending himself back into the hook. So now the first Predator, he was pretty bad because he killed a bunch of people, no hesitation. He also attacked a child. The next one, I feel like the next one was also pretty bad, but the next one, this first Predator, he was pretty brutal because he's just pounding them left, right, and center. No diddy. And the next one though, he was also pretty brutal. Like his kill, the way he was doing it was more gorier. I also think the next Predator's weapons were actually pretty cool. Like this Predator, he's basically like a samurai Predator, and he's going after these two brothers that end up fighting each other because because like one of them caught their brother in the cheek. So then that brother came back, ages a couple of years later and caught him in the cheek. He just wanted to get even. So then the Predator's fighting this brother, and the gear he has is actually pretty insane. He has like this spear that he can like throw, and it can just like spread your legs over and just slice you in half. It's actually some pretty cool tech. He has like this chain where it's like a chain, and he's like able to shoot it around trees, and it's able to like cut trees off in half and shit. It's able to slice people in half. He chopped someone's head off with it, and he's pretty persistent as well, and he's quick on his feet. When they're fighting on the rooftops, the brother's running away from the Predator, and the Predator's catching up to him. The Predator could just like give him a little lick like a dog. So the only way they're also able to beat this Predator is they had the 2v1 bro, by the way. So the last one, he was a big chunky fat fuck, but only one person was able to beat the Predator. Two people had to beat this Predator because there's multiple times in this fight where the Predator's nearly killing the brother, but then they get saved just in time by the other brother. So it's like, these guys, these samurai, watching the movie, you'd be able to tell these samurai are pretty skilled. They're pretty good at what they do. They're expert mode at slicing people up. But this Predator, I guess it's not more about skill. I guess the Predator just, he has more advanced tech and he's just stronger because compared to him, he's like their dad or some shit. Like he probably would have won if there was only one of them around. But the Predator did not die without getting a nice sweet ass kill of killing one of the brothers. They're like kneeling trying to pray to the gods or whatever, and then one of the brothers just collapsed on the ground and died. So in this next one, this Predator, he's actually pretty, he's probably, compared to the other two Predators, the big brutish guy, he's basically like, just strong and would crack your skull open in 2 seconds. The next one, the one in the ninja one, he's just, I guess, he had a lot of gadgets and he was just good at, like, with his blades, he was strong. He didn't really show that much skill, to be fair. But this next one, actually, also, I forgot to mention the last one. He does have, I'd say he would have more honor than the first Predator, but he still is kind of sneaky and a little bit of a pussy, and he would use anything to his advantage. Like when he was chasing one of the brothers through the hallway, there was like a bunch of ninjas that are in his way, and he fought them uncloaked, and he only uncloaked when he had one of them just like pinned up against the wall, just like a mantelpiece or some shit. So, he seems to play him kind of more fair, but kind of not at the same time because he's cloaked as well. But this next Predator, he's probably one of the more like kind of smarter, more techie kind of Predators because this fight's different from the other two because the other two were like on the ground, they're having their fist fight on the ground, and then this next one is they're having like their fight in the air. So this Mexican pilot, he's flying his ship with like the boys. I think this is during World War II, and he's flying with them. They're attacking the enemy, and then a new enemy ends up appearing. A new challenger joins the fight. His ship must be made from like obsidian or bedrock from Minecraft or whatever because a plane crashes into the Predator, and it's like he crashed into an invisible wall of shit because the second he crashes into the plane, he goes boom. The whole big ass ship ends up uncloaking and just immediately gets right to like sweeping everyone's lives out, because there's like probably 3 brutal kills in this fight as well. One of them, his ship has weapons on it, and one of the weapons was basically like this turret that shot like a grappling hook, and the grappling hook ends up shredding through the papers like it was a boat made in a cartoon or some shit. It's made really shoddy, and then the grappling hook ends up impaling through your man, just ends up going right through him, skewering him, and then it hooks onto the plane's engine, and then it goes right back, pulling your man out and the engine out, and just sends your man flying to like a different dimension or some shit. So then the next guy he killed, he didn't use any weapons or anything. He used his ship itself, which I think is pretty cool and also pretty handy as well, and pretty smart. He didn't really need to use his weapons the whole time, even though he was using them 99% of this time. But this was one of the times where he killed someone without like shooting any chains or nets or anything. he reverses on one dude and just fries him alive, turns him into Freddy Krueger. He turns him into like lasagna. He's cooking him up like he was in an oven or some shit. It was pretty brutal, even though you get to see it for a couple of seconds. But your man was being burnt alive in a plane, and then he explodes as well. So he was being melted, his flesh was being melted off, and he just blows up into bits like a Lego character. You know, it's pretty brutal shit. So then it's only the Mexican player and his commander left, and when he kills the commander, he shoots like this projectile. It looks like a disc or some shit. It looks like a frisbee, but it ends up being a really dangerous frisbee because it ends up opening up and four like neon LED spaghettis just and wrap up around this guy's plane, and they like, I think they're like plasma or something. I know the Predators really like to use their plasma weapons, the shoulder cannons. They have in the game, you have like this pistol that can shoot like, you know, blue electro balls or whatever. The spaghetti, the alien spaghetti ends up, you know, tangling around the plane, ends up chopping the commander's head off, just clean right off. The Predators really do like to chop people's heads off. So then when it's only the Mexican pilot and the Predator, they end up flying to like this area where there's like a battle happening overseas, and there's a turret that's firing off at the enemy. The turret fires at the Mexican dude, but then the Mexican dude, he does like a little fucking maneuver. He just like moves out the way quite quickly. Actually, man has like the reaction speed of Barry Allen, and the turret ends up hitting into the Predator. The Predator's ship looks like it just got made by Patrick Star and SpongeBob with like scraps of steels and like a scrapyard. It looks pretty damaged. It looks like shit right now. Bro might have to go to like a shop and just get a new ship. He ends up sinking underwater. Mexican dude thinks he won. The Predator rises back up like a shark that has boosters up its ass. He ends up flying, hovering above the ocean. He's still alive. So then the Predator, he tries to shoot him, and I'd say this Mexican dude, he ends up like flooding the engine. I don't know what this shit. It's like he ended up like, you know, pulling the lever up and down like he's having a wank. So then when the Predator shoots the grappling hook at him, he lets the plane's parachute go out. The plane goes towards the Predator. The chain ends up hooking around the Predator's ship and ends up swinging the engine right into the Predator and bombing him. Now, I think that's pretty cool how he bet the Predator, because in this one I noticed the Predator is much more, I feel like probably much more smarter than the other two. And the Mexican dude, he had to outsmart the Predator, which would make sense because, you know, the Predator because the Predator would have killed him otherwise. You know, it was pretty smart how like he made it so he sacrificed his plane basically to kill the Predator. That Predator, he's probably more like, he's probably super. If like the Mexican who wasn't smart or anything, he's just one of the regular boys just flying the plane. Yeah, he would have been super fucked. That Predator would be pretty scary, you know, come across in the air. Like imagine you're just going for a trip to Spain or some shit, and then next to you just see like some big ass monster truck of a ship just uncloaked beside the plane, just bombs you like Homelander. That'd be terrifying. So then the final act of the movie, this one actually involves the Grendel King himself. This is the big boy that just said all the other lads, you know, go do his bidding, go bring back some strong prey. So the three characters earlier on in the movie, they end up getting captured. They end up getting refrigerated, like they're being preserved for like a grand old feast or whatever, and they end up getting unfrozen. They get put on this like arena that's on the completely different alien planet, kind of like in Predators. Except in Predators, they just drop them off in the middle of the ocean and be like, yeah, alright, run free, scatter. But then in this one, they drop them off in arena. It's basically gonna be like a gladiator fight. So the big Grendel King, he shoots out like these boxes. The people, they get like weapons from their own from their own tribes. And this Predator, he doesn't only have these three characters fight. He also includes like surprise element. He actually includes other elements into the fight. You know, I don't think the Grendel King, he doesn't really give a shit about it. Like watching this movie, I started to get the idea he doesn't really give a shit about the honor code or anything. He's not really a traditional yautja. He sort of just wants to have fun. He wants to have a little bit of entertainment because he ends up having a gate open, and this big ass creature that has like a mouth on the back of its head and its eyes at the front. It's pretty weird but cool. Looks like something out of Star Wars. I said this before, but it actually does. He ends up eating one of the Predators because they just nudge him like, go on. You push them way too much. Like it's like, you know, pushing an angry cow with like a cattle prod. They just like fucking send you flying with a back kick. So then the creature sweeps him up into his mouth and chomps on the Predator. This creature is able to eat a Predator, no bother. So I wonder, like, the Grendel King must have some strong ass like clan, or he himself must be really strong. I'm not sure if the Grendel King or the Predators, I'm not sure if the Grendel King sent Predators to go capture this creature, or if the Grendel King himself had to, you know, go like, hold my bear there, Frank. I'm gonna have to go tame this wild dog with rabies, because this creature seems really massive and tough to put down. Like the only reason the Mexican pilot even survived. He got really lucky, by the way. It's like a 1% chance. He managed to that predator that got swallowed up ended up being the only reason the Mexican dude ended up surviving. So if that predator, didn't test his luck and bully the big massive creature, the Mexican dude would probably be dead, because he ended up using the predator's severed arm in the creature's esophagus and just ended up stabbing into him. And he also got help from the other two, the ninja and the Valkyrie. They just sliced the creature open like they're trying to do a pregnancy, like they're trying to deliver a baby through C-section, and then they killed the creature. It would, like, the first one, I noticed as well, actually, I'm not sure if they've done this on purpose, but I noticed throughout the fights there's more people fighting a predator. So like in the first one be only the Valkyrie fighting the big chunky boy, and the second one be two fighting a predator. In the third one, I guess there only was one guy, but there's also one guy and a bunch of other people. And then in the final act there's three people. Like they all, like, these predators are so strong and like not to be messed with, that they all need each other to even like have a chance of surviving. If there's only one of them, they'd be fucked immediately. These predators do not play around. So after they kill the creature, they go to fight the big Grendel King himself. But the Grendel King, he's not really easy to put down because he's big and massive, and he's decorated with like a bunch of spines on his back. So like he has some experience in hunting other aliens. I'm not sure if the Grendel King would be an elder yautja or not, because elder yautjas have basically been alive for like centuries and centuries, and you can actually like tell they look old and shit. And this Grendel King, he looks like he's been alive for quite a while, but he doesn't look like he's an elder, but he does look like he's high up in the ranks. Like I'm not even sure if Wolf from Alien vs Predator Requiem will be able to take him up. Anyways, they're fighting the predator. At first, there's some predators I noticed as well in movies, and you might notice if you watch movies. So the predators can be really cocky and arrogant. They really especially ones that have no honor, they really underestimate their prey. They don't really take them seriously. I mean, to be fair, there are aliens that can just probably, bench press a human, no bothers, and humans, they're way stronger than the humans. So then he ends up toying around with the humans for a bit. But then once the ninja and Valkyrie lock in and actually get the predator to go on his knees, the predator gets pissed and he charges at him like a raging bull, and he's just seen a naked guy painted red, So it's like the Grendel King, he's thinking this is gonna be easy, this is gonna be it's GG's, but then he just gets a little bit pissed when they get the one up on him. It's like he doesn't really, it's like he has a high ego and he doesn't like it being hurt, so he has to prove to them, it's like, right, I'm still above you, I'm still better than you. So he has him bow on the ground, and he slowly retracts his blade towards the guy's eyes, and he's just going slowly. Your man's trying to hold it back, and the predator doesn't really care. It's like, this is one thing that kind of annoyed me in predator movies, and I thought why they always lost. They always take their time with their prey. Like in the first one, the predator, he's just playing around with doors. He's just boxing him like he's a sparring partner. In the second one, the predator was just a pussy. He tried to run away and lost his arm. He tried to kill himself pretty easily. Man had low self-esteem. And then in the third one, the predator, he just I don't know. The third one, the predator, he just got bombed and he also got outsmarted. But in this one, the predator gets pissed. He pins him down. He nearly kills him. And the only reason the ninja didn't get, his eye skewered, didn't get, blinded in one eye, is because the Mexican dude somehow managed to work the alien ship and farted the predator back nearly off a cliff with the ship's boosters. So then when they try to fly away, he's still not letting them go. He's still not letting the dog run away from home, because he had these other predators, and they have this machine, this gun that basically shoots out a big massive ass chain, and it hooks onto the ship, tries to pull it back, but then the Valkyrie slides down, destroys the ship, basically sacrifices herself, and the Mexican and the ninja, they all fly away. But this predator, he sends out all the boys after him, an entire massive fleet, man, more than a military. He really wanted to make sure that these guys were gonna come back here and fight, or he wanted them dead. Jesus Christ, he's acting as if they're 2 bars of gold or whatever. He's gonna be rich. It's crazy. He sent about 50 different ships, 50 different predators in ships flying after him. It's just one guy. You have to send 10 or 20. But I feel those guys are kind of cooked unless they land on a planet or someone else helps him. I think there might be another movie continuing the Killer of Killers storyline, so I'm actually pretty excited for that. I'm wondering where the storyline is gonna go for. And Grendel King, he has no honor. He doesn't really give a shit, and he's just here for a bit of fun. Some predators would treat it kind of more serious, like it's a job, and then other predators like the Grendel King and Berserker in the third Predators movie, they kind of just treat it like it's just a game, like they're just playing across the border with their friends or whatever. So that was me talking about the Grendel King and his predators. See you later.